They're big. They're mean. And they're multiplying faster than we can stop them. America is under attack by an army of hybrid super pigs. And they're taking over everything. These aren't your average farm pigs. These are feral hogs, a Frankenstein mix of wild Eurasian boars and escaped domestic pigs. They're smart, they're destructive, and they're invading from Texas to Canada. They plow through crops like furry bulldozers. They carry diseases. And get this, when winter hits, they build snow forts to survive. That's right, pigloos. States are so desperate, they're calling in helicopter squads to hunt them down. But can we even stop them? Stick around, because today, FactoryX will dive into America's wild boar war. We'll explore the full journey of how wild boars are hunted, processed, and turned into delicious food and valuable resources, and it's crazier than you think. History of America's super pigs, a growing invasion. Wild boars, or feral hogs in the US, are hybrid super pigs, a genetic mix of domestic pigs and Eurasian wild boars. Originally brought by early European settlers in the 1500s for farming, many escaped or were intentionally released, breeding with wild populations to create a monstrously adaptable invasive species. Today, these feral hogs have exploded in numbers, with an estimated 6 to 9 million rampaging across at least 39 states, from the swamps of Florida to the plains of Texas, and even into the frozen reaches of Canada. Their destructive power is staggering. They cause $2.5 billion in damage every year, ravaging crops, tearing up forests, polluting water sources, and even destroying suburban lawns and golf courses. Farmers report entire fields of corn, soybeans, and rice wiped out overnight by sounders, groups of wild hogs that dig up roots and devour everything in their path. What makes these super pigs so unstoppable? First, their terrifying reproduction rate. A single sow can produce 2 litters per year, birthing 12 to 16 piglets annually. With no natural predators in most regions, their populations double every 4 and 5 years. Second, they're scary smart. Studies show they learn to avoid traps, recognize hunting patterns, and even use teamwork to evade capture. Third, they're biologically built for survival. Their thick fur and fat reserves allow them to thrive in freezing Canadian winters, where they burrow into snowbanks like pigloos to stay warm. Some have even been spotted using their snouts to flip rocks and access frozen food sources beneath the ice. But perhaps most alarming is their sheer size and aggression. While most weigh between 150 to 300 pounds, trophy-sized boars have been recorded at over 500 pounds, with razor-sharp tusks capable of goring predators or humans. Attacks on hunters, hikers, and even suburban residents have been documented, particularly when hogs feel cornered or are protecting their young. In 2019, a Texas woman was fatally mauled by a pack of feral hogs outside her home, marking one of the deadliest encounters on record. The invasion is spreading rapidly. Originally concentrated in the South, wild hogs have now been spotted as far north as Michigan, Montana, and even Canada's Saskatchewan province, where they threaten delicate ecosystems. States like Texas have declared all-out war, legalizing helicopter hunts, night vision scopes, and year-round trapping. Some counties offer bounties for killed hogs, while scientists experiment with toxic baits and sterilization programs. But nothing has slowed their advance. The economic and ecological toll is catastrophic. Beyond crop losses, they erode soil, spread diseases like swine brucellosis, and outcompete native wildlife for food. Their wallowing habits contaminate rivers, killing fish and spreading E. coli. If left unchecked, experts warn, feral hogs could triple their U.S. population within a decade, making them one of the worst invasive species disasters in history. The question remains, can America stop the super pig invasion? Or will these relentless beasts become a permanent and growing menace? One thing is certain, the war against wild boars is far from over. The hunt, trapping and transporting wild boars. First, you need to find them. Wild boars are creatures of habit, but masters of evasion. They thrive in dense forests, near water sources, where they can drink and cool off in mud wallows. Agricultural areas are prime targets. Cornfields, peanut farms, and orchards often show signs of their midnight raids. To locate them, hunters must become trackers. Look for 3 key signs. Tracks. A boar's hoof print is rounded and wider than a deer's, often with visible claw marks. Wallows. These muddy pits, sometimes 3 to 4 feet wide, are where boars roll to cool off and coat themselves in protective mud. Rooted ground. They use their powerful snouts to plow up soil in search of roots, grubs, and bulbs, leaving behind torn-up earth that looks like a mini tornado hit. Boars are most active at dawn and dusk, but unlike deer, they don't just flee when disturbed. They may charge. This makes them far more dangerous to hunt. Their intelligence is also a challenge. They quickly learn to avoid human scent, trail cameras, and even recognize trap patterns. Trapping tactics. Cage versus corral. Because of their aggression, many hunters prefer traps over direct confrontation. The 2 most effective methods are corral traps, circular enclosures made of sturdy panels with a one-way gate. These work well for sounders groups of hogs, since multiple boars can enter before realizing they're trapped. Some hunters use drop nets or remote-controlled gates for precision. Cage traps, heavy-duty steel cages, 6 by 8 feet or larger, with tripwire triggers. Bait like corn, fermented grain, or even vanilla-flavored syrup lures them in. Once inside, the door slams shut. Transport and facility processing. Once trapped, boars are transported to regulated facilities, ventilated trailers to minimize stress. At the plant, disease inspection. Each hog is checked for African swine fever, brucellosis, and parasites. Sick animals are culled to protect the food supply. Stunning and bleeding. To ensure humane treatment, boars are quickly stunned, usually via a captive bolt, and hung to bleed out, which improves meat quality. Scalding and deharing. Carcasses are dipped in 140 degrees Fahrenheit water to loosen hair, then scrubbed in a tumbler machine. This preserves the hide for leather. Butchering. Automated saws break down primal cuts. Shoulders, for pulled pork. Hams, for curing. The ribs, smoke them for fall-off-the-bone goodness. And tenderloins, the most prized cut. Trimming. Wild boar fat is gold. It can be rendered into lard for cooking or soap making. But too much can make the meat gamey, so we trim it carefully. Nothing goes to waste. Even trimmings get ground into sausage or rendered into lard. The bigger picture. While culling is controversial, the ecological toll of wild boars forces action. A single sounder can destroy 10+ acres of crops in a night. States like Texas and Florida lose millions annually to hog damage, pushing farmers and hunters to innovate. From thermal drones to GPS-tracked traps, the fight against these eco-tanks is evolving, but their intelligence and adaptability make them a relentless foe. For hunters, wild boars offer more than just pest control. They provide hundreds of pounds of free-range meat, challenging hunts, and even lucrative bounties in some counties. Yet the key to success lies in respecting their power, both in the field and at the processing table. Fun fact: did you know Texas has the wildest hogs in the U.S., over 3 million, so many that the state allows year-round hunting, even from helicopters, to control the population. Meat inspection and safety protocols. Before any wild boar meat reaches consumers, it undergoes rigorous inspection processes designed to eliminate health risks and ensure premium quality. USDA and EU food safety regulations mandate that every carcass and cut must pass multiple checkpoints before being approved for sale. Stage 1. Ante-mortem inspection. Even before processing, live boars are examined for signs of illness. Inspectors look for swollen lymph nodes, indicating possible infection, skin lesions or abscesses, potential signs of parasites, abnormal behavior, lethargy, aggression, or neurological symptoms. Any animal showing red flags is isolated and tested for diseases like African swine fever, a highly contagious viral disease, trichinosis, a parasite transmissible to humans, brucellosis, a bacterial infection that can spread to hunters and butchers. Stage 2. Post-mortem examination. After humane slaughter, USDA inspectors conduct a hands-on evaluation of each carcass, including visual inspection of organs, liver, lungs, kidneys, for abnormalities, incisions into muscle tissue to check for cysts or parasites, lymph node sampling for lab testing. If Trichinella spiralis, a dangerous roundworm, is detected, the entire carcass is condemned. For less severe issues, affected portions are removed and the rest is cleared. Stage 3. Lab testing and traceability. Random samples are sent to labs for bacterial screening. E. coli, salmonella, listeria, chemical residue testing, antibiotics, heavy metals from polluted habitats, DNA tracking. Some facilities tag meat to trace back to the harvest location. Only meat that passes all 3 stages earns the USDA stamp of approval.
Packaging and distribution, from processing plant to plate. Once certified safe, the race against spoilage begins. Wild boar meat is highly perishable, so processors use cutting-edge preservation methods to lock in freshness. Step 1. Vacuum sealing. Removes oxygen to prevent bacterial growth, extends shelf life up to 3 weeks refrigerated or 12 months frozen. Prevents freezer burn by blocking moisture loss. Step 2. Flash freezing, IQF, individual quick freezing. Individual cuts are blasted at -30 degrees in minutes. Preserves texture and flavor better than slow freezing. Allows restaurants to thaw only what they need. Step 3. Labeling and certification. Each package includes USDA inspection number, harvest date and location. For food safety recalls, handling instructions, keep frozen at 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Global distribution channels, domestic sales, high-end grocers, Whole Foods, specialty butchers, restaurants, game-focused eateries and Michelin-starred kitchens. Exports, Europe, Germany, Italy, and Asia. Japan's premium boar market. The niche market for wild boar. Demand is growing due to paleo-keto diet trends, lean, high-protein meat, chef endorsements, boar ragu, smoked boar ribs, sustainability appeal. Culling helps ecosystems. Without these protocols, wild boar meat could pose serious health risks. But thanks to strict oversight and modern tech, hunters can ethically harvest these invasives, and foodies can enjoy their unique flavor safely. Beyond meat, factory byproducts. The boar's journey doesn't end at meat. Factories maximize every part. Hides, tanned into durable leather for boots and shoes, gloves, and upholstery. Bones, boil the bones for a collagen-rich broth. Gelatin, dog food, fertilizer, and pharmaceuticals. And don't toss the organs. Liver is packed with vitamins. Fat. Rendered boar fat makes flaky pie crusts, or mix it with lye for old-fashioned soap, candles, and even biofuel. From the wilderness to high-tech factories, wild boars go through an incredible transformation. Whether you're a hunter, foodie, or just curious, now you know what happens behind the scenes. Want more wild factory breakdowns? Smash that like button, subscribe for more wild adventures, and drop a comment. Would you ever try wild boar meat? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.